something like that. Hello and welcome. Let's get started. We started our classes on machine learning and data science. And we'll say that data scientists are those people that work on big data, very important. Data is simply collection of information concerning particular thing or set of things. So when we're talking about big data, we're talking about data that has 4 characteristics of massive volume, very large velocity of increase of the data, variety, different kinds of information on that specific thing, then variability, then this information can be changing. So any data that has these 4 characteristics, we call it big data. And where you see such data is on the internet. When you get to places like Google, how many people visit Google every day? The volume is so large and it's increasing because more people keep going. And what do they go to do? Very variety of things, you understand? And those things vary. And that's why you can easily get big data in your Google Analytics, e-commerce customers. How many people go to Alibaba and Amazon to buy things? So much. So the volume is large. And those people, the number continues to increase. There's variety, different kinds of people, and there's variability. So the kind of data that an e-commerce website collects is known as big data. And it is your duty as a data scientist to make sense of this big data and advise that e-commerce, oh, this is the product people are like, continue producing more of these products. That's what a data scientist do. You collect all those data, you structure them, you study them, you work on them, process them, and make meaning out of it. So once you make such meaning, you're able to advise the experts and the stakeholders in that company, and they affect changes and they make a lot of profit. And that's why data scientists are the people receiving the highest amount of money now currently in programming. Because data is so important. And there is availability of this data. Before, to collect the data used to be difficult when it's massive like this. But because of the sophistication in computers now, you can simply collect this data and use it to do things. And that is what people are doing. There are websites where you can get data of almost everything. If you want data about cancer, about anything, so I'm going to be giving you such websites, Kaggle and the rest of them. If you go there, you get enough data that you can use to train your model and do your machine learning. And those are things we are going to be doing in this our course. And I was able to tell us how a data scientist, how they work. First of all, you have to collect the data. You have to do what? You have to do what? You have to collect this data that you want to work with. You have to have it. It has to be at your disposal. So how do you collect it? I'm going to show you how to collect it. Where do you collect it from? I'm going to give you the websites where you can go and get this data. You mustn't go and pick them out by yourself. My master's program, I had to search for this data because they are not collected yet. You understand? So I also show you how to use tables and graphs to interpolate, get this data. If you are looking for it so much and the one you're looking for is not in those websites that I'm going to give you. Then even if you don't have papers to interpolate or you don't have website to go and get the data, I will not teach you how to get this data, simple data, how to get it and put it in Excel, convert it to the kind of data that you need for machine learning. So those are some of the things that we're going to be doing, and we're going to be enjoying it when we start doing them. And to do them, you need to have the tools. And the very important tool that you have is Python. You're going to use Python to help you fetch this data, work on it, create your model, and be able to use it to do something meaningful. So I say that the work of data scientists are to what? When they collect this data and analyze it, they are going to fathom some information from this data and be able to advise the company executives, advise the owners of the company, advise the stakeholders, the shareholders of the company on the best products to channel their resources on. And when they channel their resources on that best product or best services, customers will come more and the company makes more gain. And out of that huge gain the company is making, that's why data scientists, they are paid so much. So if you're learning how to become one of those data scientists, and it's very simple. Between today and by early next week, you should have been able to start working on data and advising. And to do this, we're going to quickly share my screen. Let's get going immediately. There's no time. Data science is so interesting. So interesting. They collect, they are paid so much. They are paid so much. So much. Because, you know, for you to become a data scientist in the aspect we are looking at it, you must have become a programmer, isn't it? You must have been coding Python. Now you're able to now analyze data, put it in visual forms. You're going to use Python to plot graphs that people are plotting in Excel, plot pie chart, develop every kind of things. We are going to do it using Python now. That's part of your being a data scientist. And like I told you, it's very, very interesting. So the lectures we are going to be doing today, you can pick from our website, Tclassified.com. And that is where I'm going to now to show you how you can pick out the lecture for today. All our lectures, we have documented text version of them on Tclassified.com. So once you get to Tclassified.com, click on blog. So this our blog is strictly for programming. The blog we have in Django, we use it for different types of things. But this one is strictly for programming. So you can get to this blog, discuss these codes. If you're using them, you have any problem, tap me up or put it in the comment section. Let's look at them. So this is machine learning stack up. That's what we are looking at. This Django and the rest. We have plenty of things we are teaching here. Python, Photoshop, WordPress, JavaScript, and the rest of them. Today we're going to be looking at machine learning. So all the notes I'll be giving you is derived from the website. Go there, you get them. So you can see what is machine learning. Machine learning is one of the tools that you use as a data scientist to build your model and analyze your data. You understand? So let's dive into this machine learning and know what it is. I use it to analyze data. I'm going to give you some iris data so that you can classify. Tell me whether this one is iris, setosa, or this one. Yes, well, that's the first test we'll be doing. Look at this. We'll look at how to classify our numbers and we'll do a whole lot of things. So what is machine learning? Machine learning is a field of study that gives computers the capability to learn without being explicitly programmed. That was what we did first time. So we've already looked at it. ML is the short form of machine learning. Don't call it machine learning, call it ML. And it's one of the most exciting technologies in the world want to have come across. As it is evident in the name, it gives computer what makes computer to look like human being. Machine is learning. Human beings are supposed to be learning, but now machine is learning. So when machine learns, machine can now think like a human being and be able to perform. You are so knowledgeable because since you were born, you've been accepting data as you're looking. You're collecting data of pictures of people. That's why you're able to say this is Fortune and this is Ibrahim, because you've been seeing Fortune and Ibrahim every day. So in that same way, that's how you use data to train a machine, and a machine will start behaving like a human being. So when you give machine the ability to learn, you call it machine learning. Machine is now learning. How does a machine learn? Machine learn with data. Push plenty data inside the machine, but the machine will start telling you this is Fortune, this is Ibrahim. Very simple. So our course outline is going to go like this. We are going to look at the introduction of machine learning. Say that data scientists are people that work on big data, isn't it? So what is this data? And how do you process this data? We're going to be looking at it. Number 3 is going to be supervised learning. Type of learning that you have labeled features. And number 4 is unsupervised learning, the type of learning that you don't have labeled features. We're going to be looking at reinforced learning, dimensionality reduction, natural language processing, very, very important. NLP. If I tell you what computer is using this very concept to do, natural language processing. Big companies are investing heavy amounts of money developing models that can do natural language processing. Neural networks, deep learning. This is where I did, this was the technique I used for my master's project. Is the extreme aspect of machine learning, where you look at machine having neurons like human beings. It's something else. Then lastly, we are going to look at machine learning application. Then we'll start coding. So who can tell me what data is? Who can tell me what data is? Diamond, what is data? No, set of commands. Answer them, what is data? Huh? Is that? Is that? Information, yeah. What kind of information? Unprocessed. That one you just go into the field to get. It has not been processed. You understand? Somebody just quickly came here. Say, I want to take the records of everybody. He brings a pen, you understand? Serial number, name, height, blah, blah, blah. He will ask you, what's your name? You write, what's your height? What's your age? Finish. You come to answer them. What's your name? What's your height? You understand? That thing you collect is known as data. It's known as what? It's known as what? Data. You understand? When you don't collect such thing now, you go and put it inside Excel, use it and plot graph, know how many people are so and so height. You can come to me and tell me, hey, Mr. Austin, this is your place. So there are plenty people having the height of 7.4. This door you're going to do, the new door you want to do to cover this place, make sure the height is up to 7.4. Did you see what a data scientist did now? We call it statistician this time around because the data is small. It's not a big data. You understand? That statistician is able to pick out your data now, go and work on the data, and he's now advising me the kind of door to pick. He will tell me, Austin, the data from the data I picked, the number of students you have is 1,000. That place you want to build, make sure you build it very big. Buy so and so amount of seats. You see how you can transform data to information and to knowledge. Jesus. You understand? The initial thing that was collected is known as what? Data. But because somebody that has sense, called a statistician, picked this data, put it inside Excel, looked at it, transformed it, and is able to now, that time that he has transformed it to graph and everything, we call it information. We call it what? He's able to give you the number of students, number of this, you understand, information. Now, when he now uses it to now advise me as a man that is owning this place to know the best thing, that is knowledge. That is what? Oh, Jesus. So that's how it works. From data to information to what? Knowledge. That knowledge now, that's what you use to do a thing that will increase. You understand? With such knowledge, I will not go and spend money and go and rent a place that is bigger than 1,000 students. Can you see that? I make more money. And that's why if I have such statistician, I'll pay him more. Is it not? But this time around, we are not looking at data of just this class. We are looking at data of how many people going to Google in a day. Big data, big what? So that scientist that will collect this data and work on it to come to information and to knowledge, what do you call that scientist? Do you call him statistician? What do you call him? Data scientist. I want you to understand this concept. If you don't understand this thing I'm saying now, you will not enjoy the course when I start it. Understand what a data scientist does. He could have been a statistician, you understand? But he has that powerful skill of knowing how to use Python. Knowing how to use what? And that's why he's no longer a statistician. When you see people go to read statistics in the university, and after training you now as a data scientist, when you come out, you know that you're far ahead of that person. You understand? Big IT firm is not interested in what would they do with a statistician? So that you come and plot graph and batch. No. They're looking for somebody that can handle big data. Somebody that can handle what? Big data. Data that has volume, increasing in velocity very fast, and what? Has variety and what? Variability. Changes, keep changing. Plenty people are entering. So data can be an unprocessed fact. It can be an what? The fact that you just picked out, you've not processed it. You understand? When you come here to pick the people's data, their information, unprocessed facts. Value, text, sound. It's not only something you write to. Like I told you, it could be what you're seeing. You understand? Image, text, value, sound, picture. So once you've not interpreted it or analyzed it, it is called data. It is called what? Data is the most important part of data analytics. It is the most important. Without data, what do you work on? You have to have the data to work on. That's why it's so important. So data is the most important part of data analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence. Without data, we can't train any model. And all modern research and automation will go in vain. Big enterprises are spending a lot of money just to gather as much data as possible because they know that data is the key. Data is the key. The more data you have, the more you can make better predictions and advise the stakeholders on the right place to invest their resources so that they make excess money. Excess money. That's what a data scientist make a company make. Excess money. If you become a data scientist now and I employ you and you start working in Tclassified, it's you that will be telling me, okay, let's advertise Python this month. That's what, because you've collected information. You've known what customers are asking about. Any customer that come here, which language you want to use, right? You understand? You're picking the data. Work on the data, then you advise me. So once you're giving me that advice, we'll make more profit. And that's why they pay them special. Example, why did Facebook acquire WhatsApp? You can tell me why Facebook acquired WhatsApp. WhatsApp has plenty customers. You understand? Only the data coming in from WhatsApp alone. That's why they paid. What they paid is in billions of dollars. Are you guys aware? Billions. They acquire WhatsApp, they acquire Instagram. Now Facebook get Instagram. I hope you guys know. So data is so important. Okay? No, why did Facebook acquire WhatsApp by paying a huge price of 19 billion? Jesus. Do you know how much is 19 billion in Naira? It's something else, Naba. Imagine Kashmir develop WhatsApp and they come and buy it 19 billion. It doesn't need to work again. And that's the beauty of programming. You understand? When you do programming, you're not going there to compete with Facebook. You're not going to compete with Facebook. You understand? Do a very good application. Let them come and buy it. You understand? As you are now, you know me, I'm into educational technology, online learning. If you design one app now that is so good that I can see that I have potential as having it as mine. You understand? I'll go and buy it up. And that's what big companies are doing now. They don't want competition. Facebook didn't want WhatsApp and all those, you understand? And it has huge amount of money. You go and buy. That's why some people in Facebook that don't like Mark Zuckerberg, they will be saying, no, he has to split Facebook. You understand? Those people that are, there are some people that I don't know what to do with. I don't know what to think about them. Something Facebook has worked for so long, you understand? Because you were working with him at one point and both of you did not agree, you want the company split, you understand? Even when company, you know, the technology is an ever-changing environment, you understand? There could be loopholes in their activities. Over time, they try to sort it out. But those disgruntled elements, they will say, hey, split Facebook is having too much power, as if Facebook prevented you from going to do your own application. You understand? So data is so important. That's why big companies, they continue to consume smaller ones. So when you're developing an application now, you mustn't go to develop. Some people will tell you that since you say you're a good programmer, why are you not developing your own Facebook? Why are you not developing your own Google? I don't know whether you understand. You mustn't develop Google, Facebook or Google. Why are you reinventing the wheel? Except if you have special things you want to add up to your own Google and Facebook. You understand? Those people are already there in the market and they've dominated the market. The amount of data they are picking every day, you starting out, you cannot even compete with that volume of data. And they're using those data to do what? To improve. So how do you compete with them? That's why it's good you create a niche. Or you go to them, look at one feature that they are not doing well. They have what they call APIs that you can work on. You understand? Do something about there that can help you. Or you can even use one aspect of only Google Map alone. You can tap into Google Map and use it and create your own application and be made. So why must you go and start competing with Google? You understand? They say, since you're a programmer, why didn't you go and develop your own WhatsApp? How many people are going to use your WhatsApp? People are already on WhatsApp and you're there every day. I want to develop WhatsApp. Whereas there are plenty solutions you can work on. Look at do something, go and do something. There are plenty things to work on. That's why I picked the niche of Nigerian studies. I picked it. All these things I'm telling you, people have practicalized it. There's no teaching you everything I teach you here is what I've done. You understand? I picked educational technology for Nigeria, not for the whole world. You understand? Plenty people are already doing it plenty world. You understand? I looked at Nigerian market. What is it that they don't have so well in? And that's why I picked Django in. So you need to think deep. There's no ICT firm managing the agency in Babalada SEO, in Abuja SEO. In Abuja, yeah, I think there is a home.ng. But in Babalada here, you can pick out a niche, develop something. Then as you're now growing, you're adding up. And you might be so good that somebody will say, oh, let me come and buy this your app. This is your app. It will help me. Pay you in billions, you'll be happy. So data is so important. Those big companies, they can access this data. They don't even need to go and buy it again. You understand? Their website already has things that pick the data. You understand? As you're putting in your information, they are taking it. They have cookies. They have plenty of things that can help them get information. You understand? And that's why you and your friend, you're chatting about, or you discuss, or you go inside Google and type about printing machine. You will not go to anywhere you go, you'll be seeing printing machines. You'll be busting out. You understand? Because that information printing machine, Google don't already see them. And because Google is the biggest advert, anywhere you enter, they will push the advert to you. Is it not printing machine that you're looking for? See it, before you know, you go and pay. And as you're seeing it, you're doing different printing machines of different prices. They bombard you with that information. So when they design a cell phone like this, they design this cell phone in such a way that you don't leave your cell phone. Why would they design it in such a way that you don't leave your cell phone? They will give you different applications that you love, because they want you to be on this cell phone. So that when they run advert on this cell phone, you see it, you go and click on it. The customers paying them for the advert, they get more returns. So those customers pay them more, they make more money. So they get you so engaged in them, using your data, using your what? Your data is so important. Data is so important. Are we clear on this? Okay, the answer is very simple and logical. Why did Facebook acquire WhatsApp by paying a huge price of 19 billion? The answer is very simple and logical. It is to have access to users' information. Can you see one of the major reasons? They want to have access to all the WhatsApp users' information so that they can give you what you want. Do their adverts, make money. Do you know the highest place Google make their money from? It's adverts now. You're using their Gmail for free. Are you paying for Gmail? You say, hey, Google is designing very good Gmail. Oh, let me go and use it. You're using it for free. Instead of going to NiPost to pay money and send me. Now you're using Gmail for free. You think Google is a charity organization? Hey, come, let's do Gmail. Tomorrow we'll do YouTube for you. Use it for free. Tomorrow we'll do. You think Google is, you think YouTube, you think they are charity organizations? They are not charity organizations. They created those things to engage you. To do what? Engage you so that you come there. They will tell you, oh, yeah, open this account. You supply your data, username, address. You're supplying your data. As you're giving them that data, it's now telling them, oh, this is where this person is staying. And this is what is always searching. Let's go and supply them that. You understand? So they give you good products, you supply your data. So when you now supply your data now, their data will now tell them the kind of adverts product to run an advert. So when they run it, you buy more of those products, you pay the advertisers. Then those people pay them. I told you guys how much I spent running ads. I spent a whole lot of money just to run out, to push Django Neko unit to the world. So I pay Google that money. huge sums, so that they can take my product everywhere. And people, because of that, people see it and people come to my channel, people come to my website. You understand? And I get population, I get you people, I collect the money back. Then I pay to Google. Google run out for me. I get you people. You see the way it works? Very simple. It's very simple. You understand? That's why the next project I have next month, I want to run advert on Facebook, Google, Instagram, because I want Google to go and tell the whole world, hey, this guy is organizing this zone. Pay him this 30K. So I collect the 30K, you understand? Cut out, pay Google their own, you understand? Make my own profit. I keep doing it. That's how it works. Do you understand? So because Google already have all of our information, once I pay Google to run advert, Google will come to you and present. See, Tclassified is running this thing next month. So go and register, go and register, go and register. You see the way it works? That is the way it works. So you need to understand it as software developer so that when you are advising, you understand, ahead, you know what to tell him to do. Okay, so let's keep going. The answer is very simple, and okay, we've said that to get users information that Facebook may not have. So they are getting this information that Facebook, they don't have it, you understand? But WhatsApp has it. But WhatsApp we have. This information of their users is of paramount importance to Facebook, as it will facilitate the task of improving in their services. It will help them to make better services so that they can sell their ads when they run them. So number two, what is information? We've said what a data is. What is information? Information is data that has been interpreted and manipulated. Is this not what I told us? When that person has come and picked your name and everything, you understand, goes to his computer, interprets it, able to say that this is the number of people I picked, these are their height, these are the number of people that has laptop and the people that don't have. So Austin, if you want to buy laptop for your customer or for your students, this is the amount of no. You have somebody has to interpret it. So once you collect this data, forming the table, you understand, by writing serial number, name, people with laptop, somebody that doesn't have laptop. When you go to the computer and work on this data, you produce what we call information. You produce what we call what? So we say that information is data that has been interpreted and manipulated and has now some meaningful reference for the user. It's now meaningful. Now we'll go to knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is a combination of inferred information, experience, learning, insights, resulting in awareness or concept building for the individual organization. Once you've now collected the number of students here, you now use your knowledge, insight. You use your insight, your experience to know that 1,000 people needs 1,000 seats to sit down. Is it not? Then you come to me, hey, Mr. Tclassified, please, you need 1,000 seats here. You understand? You infer, use that knowledge. And that's why you have this picture that is moving from data to information, then from information to what? Knowledge. So whose duty is it to transform data to information and from information to knowledge? This is right. Whose duty? A data scientist. That's your duty. That's what you're going to be trying to do. Be able to walk into the field, pick out data, work on this data, convert it to information, and use the information to apply knowledge in advising the owner of the company so that they'll make more profit, make excess profit, pay you more, and pay the other workers. So this is what we are going to be doing. So when we get our data, what do we do to our data? We're going to split our data into three. We're going to split our data into what? So what are those data that we are splitting into? We have your training data, data you use in training the model. You understand? After training the model, you use another set of data to validate it. Call it validation data. I mean, testing data. You have to test the model after training, then you validate. So we say that we split data in machine learning into three. The training data, which is the part of data we use to train our model, just like I've said. This is the data which your model actually sees, both input and output, and learn from. They talk about validation data, the part of the data which is used to do a frequent evaluation of the model. You want to see how the model. model is working. Fit on training data sets along with improving involved hyperparameters. Initially set parameters before the model begins learning. This data plays its part when the model is actually training. Then we'll talk about testing data. Once our model is completely trained, testing data provides the unbiased evaluation. When we feed in the inputs of the testing data, our model will predict some values without seeing the actual output. After prediction, we evaluate our model by comparing it with actual output present in the testing data. This is how we evaluate and see how much our model has learned from experiences fed in as training data set at the time of training. So we're going to practice this physically. I'm going to give you data. I'm going to split it into training, validation, and testing before we start training our model. So consider an example. There is a shopping mart owner, somebody that has a supermarket or shopping mart. And answer, just like I told you, you conduct a survey collecting people's name, height, and their information. And he asked from customers the list of questions and answers and used it as his data. Now, every time when he wants to infer anything and can just go through each and every question of thousands of customers to find something relevant, as it would be time consuming and not helpful. In order to reduce this overhead and time wastage and to make work easier, data is manipulated through software, calculations, graphs, etc. As per own convenience, this inference from manipulated data is information. So data is most of information. Now, knowledge has its role in differentiating between two individuals having same information. Knowledge is actually not a technical content, but it's linked to human through process. Okay, we've already explained data, information, and knowledge. Now, properties of data. Did I give us these properties of data? I gave it initially, isn't it? So what are the properties of big data? If it is volume, the volume has to be very large, isn't it? Colossal volume. If it is big data, it has to have plenty variety, velocity so high, veracity. This one is even making it that the data you're talking about doesn't have to be lie. Doesn't have to be what? Doesn't have to be what? Lies. It's not when you come here, you see that there are 10 people, you go and write 20. You understand? There has to be veracity. You understand? Certainty and correctness. That data has to be correct before you can use it effectively to do machine learning. Now, some facts about data. Plenty data is being generated now. That's just the summary of this whole thing written now. Plenty data through email, eBay, shopping carts, people visiting online. Now we get to machine learning. So machine learning is one of the most exciting technologies that one should do. Then what are the applications? Where can you apply machine learning? If you finish learning machine learning, where do you go to look for job? What kind of job do you look at? Number one, web search engine. Number one is what? Web search engine. One of the reasons why search engines like Google, do you see now they are bringing Google again? Google harvests massive amount of data from people on a daily basis. Jesus. Is there any day you don't go to Google? You don't search. You have email. If most things that people are using in the world, this world is related to either Google or Facebook or Apple. Have you noticed that? That's why 3 of them are the richest. They are so rich. They are so rich. You're using your WhatsApp. WhatsApp is owned by Facebook. You're using your Instagram. Instagram is owned by Facebook. And you're now on Facebook. You must use any of them in one day. You must go to email to use Google. You understand? They just tie you around. They don't want you to do without them. They get you addicted to them so that you do what? Keep supplying your data. They love your data so much because that's what they are using to run adverts for their customers and make big bucks. You're using their Facebook free. You're using everything free. But me that want them to run adverts, I'll go and pay them huge sum. Because the advert is so effective. Why is the advert so effective? Why must I go to pay them? Because they are harvesting your data. Your data is helping the advert to be effective. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. It's your data that is making the advert effective. Because if I need students that will come here for programming and go and pay Facebook, Facebook is going to carry my business and go to people that are interested in programming, because Facebook is happy to hear that. You go, hey, you are sleeping in Python. You go inside with, hey, what's his name? Casimir sleeps in Python. You write it there. You understand? So once somebody that needs people that are sleeping in Python comes and gives Facebook somebody and say, please fetch me people that are sleeping in Python, they already know they will knock you immediately, connect you with Casimir. That's why the advert is effective. People are paying millions to them. Data science. If you're missing this class, you will miss the biggest aspect of everything you'll be learning in programming. Data science. They tell you how much they are making in data science, you run. So let's continue. So search engine, one of the reasons why search engines like Google, Bing, etc. work so well is because the system has learned how to rank pages through a complex learning algorithm. So they use the knowledge of data science to rank their pages using algorithms that are good, which is part of what you'll be doing. Number 2, photo tagging and application. Number 2, what? Be it Facebook or any other photo tagging application, the ability to tag friends makes it even more happening. It is all possible because of the face recognition algorithm that runs behind the application. You understand? With your machine learning, you're going to be building an algorithm that can do face recognition. Is that clear? You guys are going to be building things. Number 3 is spam detector. Why is it that when somebody sends you a mail, Gmail is able to carry that mail and say, this is spam, this is original mail? Who can tell me how did that happen? All of them are using email to send the mail. But Yahoo and Gmail will go and classify this one. Automatic, it's not a human being that is speaking it. It's an algorithm, machine learning, data science algorithm. They're written by somebody. And that is what you'll be learning. That's what I will teach you. How you can fetch plenty mail and classify this one is spam, this one is original mail. It's very, very simple. It's what? In just one day. Forget about the stories we are telling now. The stories is to tell you how important what you are about to learn. You understand? In just one day, you classify and into spam and this thing. Very simple code. You see the model, you just do it. We are going to teach our model how to classify between a cat and a rat. You see our model. If you just upload any picture, it tells you that this is a rat, just like a human being. So spam detector, our mail agents like Gmail and Hotmail does a lot of work for us in classifying the mails and moving the spam mails to spam folder. This again is achieved by spam classifier running at the back end of the application. There is a spam classifier that has been built using machine learning model. That is what is doing that classification. You understand? So with your knowledge of building model, you can automate your website and make it do some things using your knowledge of data science and machine learning. Are we together? So other applications are in database mining for growth of automation, application that cannot be programmed, understanding human learning, and many other things. Okay, now we look at supervised and unsupervised learning. That's where we're looking at now, supervised and unsupervised learning. So we're going to be stopping here. I've uploaded so many information at one time, isn't it? But I think today's class was more enjoying. You people are understanding more of what data science is. You understand? You're beginning to appreciate what it is. And I'm happy that you guys are appreciating it. Okay. So by tomorrow, we are going to look at and unsupervised learning. Do you understand? Cody. Thank you. God bless you. Remember, everything you want is in Christ Jesus, and the best way to success is by giving your life to Christ. See you when I see you again. Thank you, and God bless you. If you have any questions and concerns, drop them in the comment section, whether you're on YouTube Live or on Facebook Live. See you when I see you.